They are no particular type of dog. They're all street dogs effectively. So I think there's a gene pool going in that region of Uganda, which is why all the dogs do look similar. But I don't think they're a specific breed per se.
And one of the things we did with this film was to make sure to, like, we didn't want to get too stuck in, oh, we got to show purebred this, or like, you know, it's not an American Kennel Club collection of dogs, but these are like the everyday dogs that are working in place. People ask us what the breeds are, and often we go like, we don't know, the owners don't know. Yeah. There's an expert out there that will be able to tell you. But I agree. I think the dogs that were in Uganda where we filmed, they were beautiful, just very soulful, very dedicated to their owners. I think there was a symbiosis whereby the people we spoke to had a pretty tough life. I think the dogs had a pretty tough life, and they were sort of finding a peace amongst each other. Yeah, I love the one of the things I loved the most about making this film was filming the close-ups of dogs right into the soles of their eyes. You know, I think that's they're my favorite shots in the film.
Yeah, and with Uganda, it's one of the only times in the film that we have the dogs sitting with people while they tell their stories. This was something we'd sort of avoided previously, because if you're filming with a dog in the shot, you don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to distract? Are they going to move constantly? But there in Uganda, the dogs wanted to be there with their person, and you can see the comfort they're providing happening in real time.
They're helping telling tough stories.
Yeah, they're telling these amazing stories, and they're holding on to these dogs who are helping them through that moment. So it's really beautiful. One of my favorite lines from the whole film comes from Uganda. Lucy explains that she didn't realize that dogs could be trained to be your friend. Like, that's such a lovely moment. Really powerful.
And sort of, and the whole concept of examining this very simple bond between human and dogs through different cultures was like, well, here is a culture where dogs aren't traditionally kept as pets. So we can, by understanding their story, understand a lot more about our relationship with animals. So I think, yeah, it was a powerful one. It was powerful filming it. You know, people were telling some pretty hard to tell story. I think it's pretty much nothing more horrible humans can do to one another than train child soldiers, because the trauma is compounding. You know, that not only did they have to participate in these horrible acts, but then when they return to the community after the war is over, they are sort of ostracized and demonized again because they participate in these things. So, you know, the trauma just never ends for the people we spoke to. And I remember when we were shooting this, we were very aware of, like, you know, is this going to I guess evoke trauma for them? But what we were learning was that them taking agency and telling their story themselves, like, you know, it's their story in their language, speaking to the camera, and the dogs help them with that trauma. If they actually got to take agency and sort of reclaim and re-own their narrative and their story. And that's exactly what, you know, it's why we make films in 12 different languages rather than have voiceovers and dubbing and things like that, is so that people can, and why we're not in the film. You know, we're never in the film because we want them to tell the story the way they want to tell it.